This is a developing story from Washington and the Middle East. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that he has instructed what he referred to as the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iran's energy infrastructure for a period of 5 days. According to his statement, this pause is intended to allow ongoing negotiations to move closer toward what he described as a complete and total resolution to end hostilities in the region. The announcement comes at a time of heightened tensions, where even a single military action could significantly escalate the situation across the Middle East. In his statement, Trump made it clear that the decision to delay military action was not a sign of weakness, but rather a strategic pause. He emphasized that the United States is prepared to act if necessary, but for now, diplomacy is being given a narrow window, just 5 days, to produce meaningful results. The phrase "postpone any and all military strikes" is particularly significant. It suggests that plans may already be in place targeting Iran's energy infrastructure, a critical sector that includes oil facilities, refineries, and export terminals. Such targets are often considered high impact because they directly affect a country's economy and global energy markets. Iran's energy sector plays a central role not only in its own economy, but also in global oil supply. Any military strike on this infrastructure could have ripple effects far beyond the region, potentially disrupting oil prices, affecting global markets, and triggering responses from other nations. That's why even the possibility of such action raises concern among international observers. By delaying these strikes, the situation remains tense, but controlled, at least for now. The key part of Trump's statement is his reference to ongoing negotiations. While specific details about these talks remain limited, the goal appears to be de-escalation, finding a path that avoids further conflict. Trump described the objective as a complete and total resolution, which suggests an effort to not just pause hostilities, but potentially bring a longer-term settlement. However, diplomatic efforts in the Middle East have historically been complex and fragile. 5 days is a very short window in international diplomacy, which raises it can push both sides toward faster decision-making, but it can also increase tension if expectations are not met. If negotiations do not lead to a breakthrough within the 5-day period, the situation could quickly escalate. Resuming plans for military strikes on energy infrastructure would mark a serious turning point. Such actions could trigger retaliation, not just from Iran, but potentially involving other regional actors. That's why this 5-day window is being closely watched. It's not just a pause, it's a critical moment that could determine whether the situation moves toward peace or further conflict. Although official responses are still emerging, any development involving potential strikes on energy infrastructure is likely to draw attention from global leaders. Countries that rely on Middle Eastern oil exports may be particularly concerned about stability in the region. Markets, too, tend to react quickly to this kind of news. Even without actual military action, the mere possibility can influence oil prices and investor confidence. Another interesting aspect of Trump's statement is his use of the term Department of War. Officially, the United States operates under the Department of Defense, so this wording stands out. It may reflect a more direct or forceful tone intended to emphasize the seriousness of the situation. Language plays a key role in international messaging, and statements like this are often carefully analyzed for both meaning and intent. All eyes are now on the next 5 days. Will negotiations produce a breakthrough, or will this pause simply delay a larger confrontation? At this stage, there are more questions than answers. What is clear is that the situation remains highly sensitive, and any developments, even small ones, could have significant consequences. For now, the postponement of military action provides a brief window for diplomacy. Whether that window leads to a lasting resolution or simply postpones further conflict remains to be seen. We will continue to monitor this story closely as more details emerge. Stay with us for the latest updates on this developing